talk about Take the Lead? Is that what you
Sure.
had in mind?
Yep. Why don't we just start there?
Let's see. I think Take the Lead started about 1992, I believe. We've distributed, you know, if Mari-Beth was here, she would have the exact figures. I think we've distributed somewhere around $6 million in that time period. It started with a small group of people, and Tom Bradley, Dottie Collier, Jeff Pepper, there were 7, 8 of them, and they had an event, and all of a sudden they had $30,000 on their hands that they didn't quite know what to do with. You know, they're going to help people, and that's kind of how it started, and it's just grown and grown since then till last year. Like I say, Mari-Beth will have these figures. We distributed the most money we ever have. I think it was around $700,000 helping people. It was more because we were able to help people with the COVID crisis, whether it was insurance payments, health issues, disaster issues, whatever. And now, over 25 years later, our modest investments cover our expenses, which we have one full-time worker that's in Watertown, New York, at that office. So every dime that people gives us, it goes to help someone. There's no overhead. And I don't. There's Mari-Beth. Hey, Mari-Beth.
Sorry, I was.
Me.
I apologize. I was just with the vet students at Tuskegee doing a Meet the AKC presentation, and they had more questions than normal, so ran over a little bit.
Well, Mari-Beth,
it happens, not our problem.
I was just telling them how Take the Lead started and where it is today. I just been talking a couple of minutes, so if you want to go from there, please.
Right. So, okay, so as Randy's probably told you, we started as a result of the AIDS crisis back 28 years ago, and here we are. So, but the original, the thing that we're actually really looking and trying to make more awareness is to encourage people to apply, or for you to encourage people to apply if you feel that they meet the criteria. So the main component of what Take the Lead offers assistance for is people who have life-threatening or terminal illnesses. So, which basically, anytime, you know, someone who may have cancer or anything like that, they probably will meet the criteria. We are direct pay. An application has to be completed and submitted. It's evaluated within probably 24 to 36 hours. And direct pay meaning that you will submit a bill or identify what it is that needs to be paid. So perhaps you wish to have your mortgage paid, your insurance paid, a car payment paid, and we will pay that for you directly. This avoids any conflict for you, as assuming that could not be income for you directly. And in the past, what's it been, Randy? 5 to 8 years that we've created the Emergency Relief Fund?
Wow, has it been that long? I guess it has.
I think maybe it has been. So we realized that we wanted to be able to help people in additional ways, and established what we call the Emergency Relief Fund in times of natural disasters. So we've had all these horrible fires. We've had the horrible. You all don't necessarily experience the hurricanes, but we all experience other storms, and you could have it could be an accident from which you may have been injured and can't work for a while. There is a limited amount of finances for that, but it's, say, for example, you needed immediate assistance to take for housing for yourself and for your dogs, we can provide that immediately for you. And again, that application is reviewed by a committee and responded to almost immediately.
Mari-Beth, we need to discuss how private this is if you ask for help.
Oh, absolutely. There's a committee, which we don't identify who the committee is, who reviews it. And no one on the board knows who is receiving any assistance unless people come to us. And it is so, Randy will tell you, and we've had some of the most unbelievably heart-wrenching moments when people have come to a booth and said, thank you, you helped us. And just came to thank us. And this past weekend in Raleigh, there were several people came who offered their appreciation as a result of our ability, the special fund that was created for COVID, which allowed us to distribute over $400,000 to pay people's health insurance last year. It's always quite, it's truly amazing to have someone. I had at one show, a complete stranger walked up to me and threw their arms around me and hugged me and said, "You saved my life." And we don't know that. We as board members do not know who is being assisted unless the individual shares that. Right, Randy?
Yes, ma'am. It really is amazing, the stories that we hear, that we have, we're just worker bees, and we don't know anything unless people come and share it with us, and it's very rewarding. It really is.
So I did ask from the office they told them we were doing this, and we, because of the COVID relief fund, we were able to distribute almost $700,000 in 2020, which is, considering this started around a kitchen table 28 years ago, that's a pretty amazing thought that we were able to do that and provide so much help for people. And but again, over 400,000 of that was for the COVID fund, and we are fortunate that the funds that we have received, and I think one thing that we're very proud of is that all of our money, everything that has been donated to Take the Lead, has come from individuals and clubs in the Fancy. We have not received funds from any other outside sources. So it's literally, it's all of us helping each other.
It's grassroots.
Yep, absolutely. Totally grassroots efforts. And I think, the one thing that we want to reiterate for all of you is to, if you know of someone who may need some assistance, we have people who are maybe failing in their health and may not be able, you can help someone apply. There are certain things that you will need to get from them, but you may be able to help that application process. The application is on the Take the Lead website, and they will need to have a doctor's diagnosis, and we will need some financial information, but it certainly is something that we wish. That's the main message, I think, for me, is for you as club members to be aware that you can help people apply if you can identify someone who may need assistance.
Mari-Beth, if I remember correctly, you do have to be in the sport 5 years. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
To receive assistance.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any questions for us? I can't believe that no one has any questions.
Well, a lot of people come to the booth. It's still surprising, and they'll ask me, "Is this just for handlers?" And the answer is no. It's for anybody that's been involved in the sport for 5 years. Anybody. So it seems like even after all these years, we're constantly dispelling that myth.
Mari-Beth, of the people that are applying, any idea what percentage are accepted? Is there a limit that you can accept per year, per whatever?
No, there is not a limit, and as far as number of applicants per year, we, which is again, part of why we're out here asking you to, if they're, and we understand that this is something that people are very proud and you don't want to ask for help. And I will tell you that, unfortunately, we also end up paying for a lot of funerals or providing assistance in paying for funerals, that unfortunately people wait until it's too late to ask for assistance. And then the assistance we can provide is the final assistance with and we have put a cap on what we will provide for a funeral.
Mari-Beth, Michelle Weiberg had asked to qualify. You have to be involved in any AKC sport for 5 years or a certain area. Is it
No,
just
it's any sport.
competition?
It can be any
Any
sport.
sport?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we made a really active, we have actually one of the past members of our board is a very active obedience judge, and she was very proud to be able to share what we do with the obedience world.
Okay. And Annie asked, does the person need to still be active or just active in the 5 years?
They have to have had a history that they may not be as active right now, because we certainly understand that individuals may not be as active at this particular moment, but as long as they own dogs and have been involved, it may have been more than 5 years ago. That's
Okay.
fine.
I'm surprised there's not more questions.
Well, the people that are on, I think a lot of them do know about Take the Lead, but we were hoping some people that weren't as familiar would also join in with us. So,
Mari-Beth, should we talk about the scope of some of our events? I mean, we've had so many different things, big, small, even spaghetti dinners that people have in your local, with your local dog folk to raise money. I mean, we've just done a whole myriad of things over the years.
No, absolutely. One of the things we do, which pending how your show is going to be in June, anything from just a booth where we go to for awareness and to have a presence and do memberships. But what we've learned is we like to bring attention to the booth itself, as we'll frequently raffle some items off so that people see something they might like, and they come and visit with us and purchase some raffle tickets. But then, as Randy said, we've had a whole scope of different events as well, but we asked for clubs to be involved with hosting those and doing some of the fundraising to underwrite them in the planning of it. And yeah, we've had some really fun times in different places to celebrate Take the Lead.